Okay, so let's learn the game. So I'm assuming you've got the game already. I'm assuming you. I'll put the links down below if you don't know how to get it. You download Beyond. You go to beyond.com/download. I believe the link is. You download the beta. It will only work if you download the beta. Um, you make an account. You download it. You install it. You make an account, and then they'll give you a server list, which I can show you right here. Okay, there's a server list. So on the left side here, there'll be Space Station 13 server list. Um, Depending on when you're joining, these servers might not be here, but I would suggest starting on Yog Station. They seem very friendly. That's where I started. You click join, and then you end up with this screen right here. So, assuming there's a game ongoing, you'll get the join game button. Otherwise, you'll get a ready up button. So you can either set up a character in here. We won't go into too many details about setting things up. I just want you to get as quickly as possible into the game and actually learning how to play. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to jump in and I'm going to get a assistant job. Okay, I don't know what a tourist does. I guess let's jump in with a tourist. But an assistant essentially has no job, right? An assistant has absolutely no job. They're they don't have anything to do. So what's going to happen is you're going to end up in this area of the game if the game's ongoing. And you're going to notice that there's a buckled button up here, the red one. You're going to press that. That's just going to unbuckle you from your chair. So now you can use the WASD keys to move around. Okay, we're going to move to the door, and that's just going to open unless the power's down, unless the station's already fucked, in which case just wait until the next round starts. If you can't even open the doors from here, then basically all hope is lost, right? So I'm just gonna go out here. This is the entry shuttle that you come into the game. I'm gonna go out here and kind of teach you the controls real quick. So essentially that's gonna leave, and now we're on the station and everything's good. So essentially I'm gonna teach you the controls. In the next video I'll teach you how to actually play, what's going on the station, how to find out what you're doing and what you're supposed to be doing, and how to actually get the game going. Oh, someone else is coming. So essentially I'm out here, right? This is my boy, and I can move with the WASD keys. We know that so far. And either I'm lagging or my keyboard. No, okay, there was a little bit of lag there. That's fine. What you're gonna notice, actually, let's move away from this shuttle because it's gonna keep making that freaking noise and it's gonna piss me off. So I'm gonna move into. Don't worry about where I'm going right now. I'm gonna move into here for now, just so I have things I can show you that how to operate. Okay, so basically I can move with the WASD keys. On the left side most thing here, if I click that, it's going to open up everything I'm wearing. So it's just equipped items, right? This is my belt. This is where I put my ID. This is my PDA, and this is my bag. So if I click on my bag, you'll see that I have other items inside my bag that I can access. We'll get back to the ID and PDA. Basically, the ID is what allows you to open doors and stuff, right? The amount of access you're given by the station is dictated on this ID. So as you can see, like, I can't open this door because I don't have access to it. I don't have access to maintenance. But I can open these generic doors because I have access to them. Okay, so let's just start interacting with things, right? Let's say I want to pick something up. You're going to notice that in the middle here I have, actually let me drop the camera real quick just so I can show you. I have two hands, right? Right hand, left hand. And if I pick something up, if I press on something, I walk up to it and press it, it'll go into the highlighted hand, okay? Now if I want to pick another thing up, I have to switch over to my non-using hand, right? Right now my right hand's holding the camera, my left hand is not holding anything. So I switch over by pressing X. X is the hotkey to switch between hands. Okay, this is going to be really useful. You should memorize at least X, Q, and E. These things are pretty much used all the time. But I'll get on to Q and E in a second. So now let's say I want to pick up this cable coil. I have to press on the cable coil with the empty hand highlighted, and then I have the cable coil in my left hand. Now let's say I want to drop there. The drop key is Q. Okay, so I've dropped it with Q. And if I press Q again, nothing happens because my highlighted hand is my left hand, not the camera hand. So I'm going to press X to go to my right hand, Q to drop the camera. I can press again to pick it up. I can change my hand to left hand and pick up the cable coil again. Now, what's interesting is that unlike many games, which you might encounter with tile settings, if I drop this coil and I click on the tile it's on, it's not going to pick it up for me. I have to actually click the coil itself. And this is because you can notice, like here, right, in this tile here, I have, there's three things I can pick up here. I have this thing, which is an igniter. I have, a bunch of things that I can pick up in one square. So I have to click on the pixel that is actually the item that I want to pick up. So in this case, the screwdriver. Okay. So that's something that kind of threw me off when I was learning the game. Now, okay, so I've picked it up, and let's say I want to put it in my bag. Okay, the hotkey to equip something or to put something away is E. Okay, which seems pretty simple. So if I press E, you can see on the bottom right it says you put the cable coil into your backpack. If I had like pocket space, which is what these things are on the right, I'm just going to drop that. It might go to my pocket first because it's a small item, which is exactly what we can see here. So depending on what things you have available, there's like kind of priorities on where things are going to go first. Let's say instead of the pocket, I really want to put in my bag, right? So I can't just press E. I'm going to have this highlighted, and I'm going to press on the bag icon, and that's going to put it into my bag. If I press it from my bag, it goes back into my hand. If I highlight it here and I press on the pocket, it's going to move to that specific pocket. If I highlight the pocket, well, actually in this case, if my hand's highlighted and I press the pocket, then my hand goes into the pocket and pulls it out, right? So there's you can see that there's some kind of logic to it. Once you get used to the movements and stuff, things kind of make sense. Now, boxes are interesting. Boxes like this one here. If I want to open this box, I have to click and drag. If I just click on the box, it picks up the whole box itself. If I put this down and I pull onto me, then that's going to open up the box itself, and I can do that from my inventory too, like this, right? That's one thing. Another thing that I can do is I can drag things, right? So, and obviously if I open the box, I can now pick things up, place them into my pockets, place them into my bag, and that's the same mechanics as we've discovered, right? So I can drag the box onto me, put this back in. I'm going a little bit fast because in reality, you really just need to know how to interact with things around you. You might not even remember about the box. You might not even remember about this or that. And I'm not even going to go that into detail about everything you can do, because you just need to be able to play a role, and then by playing that role, you're going to learn all the different mechanics of how to interact with things around you. I think is the best way. Too much information is going to overwhelm you. But let's look at examining things. That's something that's really useful. Like if you don't know what something is, you can right click and it says proximity sensor, and you can click examine on it, and it will give you like more information about it. Like the proximity sensor is secured and ready to be used. The proximity sensor is disarmed, right? So certain things like why is my screen shaking? It's strange. Certain things might give you more or less information about. Okay, so the film, that's a film cartridge. Insert into the camera to reload it. So I assume that the camera works. I just press on the camera. Oh, there we go. No, I don't want to customize photo. Take the cartridge. I assume it just kind of... What's going on? Oh, the Tesla is loose. Okay, this is going to be interesting to watch. This is going to be interesting to watch. Can I watch? I am a simple tourist. I haven't got into the communications yet, but call shuttle, red alert. Well, so the Tesla is part of the... Okay, well, I think this might be a short tutorial. Let's see if I can... Oh, okay, there's no gravity here. There is no gravity. something interesting about gravity is that, see, because I'm stuck in no gravity, there's nothing to push off, I have to throw something. So this is a perfect example to learn how to throw items. The other hotkey that we kind of, so you can see resist, rest, drop, and throw. Drop, you can press it here too, but we've already discussed that it's Q. Oh shit. I press R, and then I press in the direction. Okay, actually, you know what? Let me get out of here so I don't die. Jesus Christ. That was lack of oxygen in the top right corner. Everything was destroying itself. So let's see if I can do this before the shuttle goes to shit. So I have something in my hand. I press R, and that toggles the throw button you can see here. And now I can throw it in that direction, and it just throws it. And you can see I'm already moving in the opposite direction like you would in space. And I can, oh, I've just been blinded with a flash, and I've been turned into a revolutionary leader. Not a leader, a revolutionary, which is great. But I'm doing a tutorial, so we're not going to deal with that. So see, I'm stuck again because there's no gravity, right? So I'm stuck in the air, and you can see that by the icon here. So I press R, and I throw this cartridge in the direction, and I will be moved in the opposite direction. That's, but throwing items can also be just like, I want to place this item over there without moving, so I'm just going to put it there. He took the box. That's security. I wonder why. Oh, he was just checking to see what it was. What's that? Okay, well, he just put down a box and then put down a box. Anyways, now these other ones like rest. You can press to lie down. I don't know what the hotkey is for that, but to be honest, like you don't really use it that much. One of the other things I want to show you is how to get on top of tables, how to buckle yourself into chairs and stuff like that. That can be pretty useful. So I'm going to move over there, and then I think the rest of the stuff will just use the game itself to learn. Because I think like that's the basics. Oh, intent. Actually, I can't not show intent, so we'll show that in a second. So let's say I want to get, so this is the kitchen. I want to get on this table here. I drag my character onto the table, and that will mean that he's actually climbing the table. Otherwise, I can't actually see. An arrow key is to get down, but to get up, you have to drag your character onto the table. Otherwise, you just can't. Like if I press W here, I just can't get there. I can't move there. Same thing with like a chair or like the shuttle seats. If you're escaping on the shuttle, this will be a big thing. I can move to the chair and then drag my guy. You see how I'm already, actually I'll move away so you can see. I'll drag my guy towards the chair while I'm over it. And see, now he's sitting down. You can see this red icon that we started with that says buckled, which means I'm actually sitting on the chair. Maybe I buckled it. Same thing with beds. You drag yourself onto the bed. See if I can display that here. You can see that buckled. It says buckled into the bed, and I press this to get out of the bed. So that's kind of the basics of that. The other thing here is so we've kind of dealt with most of the things here. Okay, in this area, I'll get back to ID and PDA, but now we're in this area here where you can see we have intents, right? So you have your help intent, which basically if I click on someone with help intent, you hug them, right? If I if I like use a tool and I'm trying to repair something, I have to have help intent, otherwise it'll like start smashing the thing with the tool. Then I have disarm intent, which how can I best show this? Wait, is this disarm? I believe it is. Oh, it's aggressive. No, this is. Wait, so 1, 2, 3, and these are you can also toggle them by hitting the 1, 2, 3, 4 buttons. But how do I don't remember what. I think that's disarm, right? I believe that is disarm. I'm trying to remember the names of the intents. I know what they do in mechanics wise, but I'm trying to remember what they're called. But anyway, so you can see right here the green, anytime you want to do something, like you want to click on yourself to check yourself, right? you do that with the help intent. You check for yourself for injuries. It tells you what's injured, and it tells you if you're hungry or not, or whatever. If I do it in the second intent, so if I press number 2 on the keyboard and it toggles this blue icon, it says I try to disarm myself. Now this is really useful if someone's holding a weapon or something. You can try to disarm them and they'll fall to the ground and drop it. This is actually really useful. Number 3 is a grab. That's right, it's a grab intent. So actually I can show you that if I just grab like this thing here, I can press that. Oh no, I can't. I guess. Okay, I guess I have to press control. So I wonder how you would do it without the. I can just do it like this. So if you want to grab something, you can control click an item, and that will I can no longer there. Throw it. There we go. It didn't propel me for some reason. So if you there we go. So if you want to let go of the item, you press delete on your keyboard. So I have this locker thing. I can. Jesus, that was the pressure. Someone opened a door that was highly pressurized and just blasted things across the station. So look, I press control and I left click on this thing and it brings up the pull toggle, and I can pull it. And then if I untoggle it with my mouse, it lets go, or I can also press delete on the keyboard. But you can do that but you can grab people with this yellow intent, and if you keep grabbing, it'll turn into an aggressive grab, I'm pretty sure. And then if you hit 4 on the keyboard or there's a red icon, you're gonna start hitting shit, right? You're basically just it's a breaking thing. I'm not gonna hit anyone on the station so I don't get banned for being, but you can see I'll pretend like I got it, like I screwed up. Oh Jesus. Oh crap. Okay, well that's broken as hell. So basically, if there's an emergency, this shuttle gets called and everyone gets on it, and hopefully you survive and live to see another day. See, I just buckled myself in the chair. That's what I did. So that's the yeah. I'll punch him. Yeah, I'll go up to someone just to see, so you can see. Actually, I'll punch myself. How about that? Has attempted a punch, right? So that's the harm intent. And depending on what you're doing, you're gonna have to toggle different intents, and that can be a lot more. That can affect a lot more things than you think. But just know that they're there, and then you'll see what they can affect, because you're not going to remember all the stuff. On the very last thing here, it's a targeting mode. So for example, if you want to punch someone in the head, you can press this targeting thing, target the head, and now when you punch someone, you actually punch the head itself. Okay, it doesn't say it here, but that is what happens. You can target the body. If you have a gun, you can do the same. If you're a surgeon, if you're doing medicine and you're a surgeon and you need to do a heart transplant, you target the chest, right? If you need to reattach a limb, you target the arm. So targeting works in a lot of ways. You know, if you're trying to light up a cigarette and you have a lighter in your hand, you're going to target the mouth. So there's many ways that interact with that. Just know it's there, and then when you actually get to experience it in game, you know about that. There's another little thing here, which is this T thing, which is a crafting menu, and basically it'll tell you like what things you need for each thing. This crafting menu is useful if you're just running around trying to make shit, but at the end of the day, if you're actually playing the game as intended, oh, there's no oxygen, so we're all gonna die. Maybe. I'm gonna see if I can make it down here before the oxygen breach. Can I make it? Oh, there's no oxygen in here either, so we're all dead. All right, well, I guess that's Space Station 13 for you. I will show you the PDA, and because I've shown everything else. I'll show you PDA and communications when we get back in the game. So now you can see the health. That's another thing I haven't explained. That's O2, so that means there's lack of oxygen. This is the pressure, which means there's too much pressure. Oh, well, lack of pressure, not pressurized. Right here is your health bar. So you can see it says critical. basically the more red it goes, and if you're red, you're like almost critical. If you're critical, you're critical. And I'm about to die, and now I'm dead. So as a once you die, you become a ghost, and you can see things. Um, you can walk around and see what killed you. You can type. So to type in general is the key is T, and that will make you say things. Um, if you want, but if I say if I'm dead and I type something, it'll show up as dead, and only people that are dead can see this. That is just to stop people like giving information that they're finding while they're dead to people that are still alive in the game. So um, that's that. If you want to type out of character stuff, so that things that aren't related to the game you're currently playing, anything that's related to the game you're currently playing, you shouldn't type in the game because that will give information. Sorry, in out of character, because this basically everyone on the server can see, right? When you type something in a normal box and you're alive, only the people in that room can see. Like, so it's pretty simple. But I'll get into that in the next one because we're all dead. So